Dear Ukrainians, we continue our work on sanctions. We are preparing new sanctions, in particular against targets in Russian military production in their propaganda. Gradually, we must block contacts with the world of all Russian entities working for the war. Decrees coming soon. We are also synchronizing the 19th package of sanctions of the European Union in Ukrainian jurisdiction. And it is important that our diplomats and all representatives of Ukraine work more actively in European countries outside the EU so that they also take on common European sanctions. We very much appreciate that Switzerland, Norway and other European countries have been supporting the common European pressure to end the war over the years. The preparation of the 20th package of EU sanctions has already begun. And it is not only the European Union that is taking new steps. I expect a detailed intelligence report on the impact of America's decision on sanctions against Russian oil companies. And the preliminary data are very optimistic. The impact is significant. We are checking the details, and every scheme that Russia still uses must be blocked. And this signal in the world must be perceived correctly. Russia must end its war, otherwise Russian oil exports must end. I thank all our partners who are putting pressure in this way, effectively pressing, tangibly and in areas that are really painful for Putin's system. By the way, today the foreign ministers of Ukraine focused on the countries that were once destabilized by Russia, that went through wars, interventions and are still going through internal conflicts, going through difficult times. Our programs, such as Grain from Ukraine, have helped many, and we must continue an active foreign humanitarian policy, specifically in the field of food security. This is natural for us, for Ukraine. We are preparing appropriate measures for November. Today we talked in detail with the Prime Minister of Ukraine, with other government officials and the head of Ukryaznytsia about the support of our railway, about the work of the company. It is the railway that gives millions of Ukrainians and our economy the necessary stability. I want to thank all our Ukrainian railway workers, all thousands of railway workers, for their work. You really work for Ukraine. I thank you very much. The company will develop a few more things. And we talked in detail today with the Commander-in-Chief and the Chief of the General Staff about the situation at the front in all directions. The most difficult thing now is in the Pokrovskaya direction. There, as in previous weeks, there is the greatest intensity of hostilities. Strong concentration of Russians. The occupiers are trying to gain a foothold by all means. Every destroyed occupier there is a result for our entire state. The situation in Kupiansk remains difficult, but these days there is more control of our forces. We continue to defend our positions. Dozens of assault operations per day in the Oleksandrivka direction. I thank each of our units for their resilience. We also worked out in detail the planning of our long-range operations. The only scenario is to force Russia to end the war. The way it is possible, the way it really works. And these are the sanctions of the world. Our long-range sanctions, our recovery from Russian strikes, coordination with our partners and, most importantly, support for our army, all components of Ukraine's defense and security forces. Because Ukraine is where Ukrainian positions are strong. Thank you to everyone who fights for Ukraine, who works for defense, for our state, for the sake of all our people. Thank you to everyone who helps us. Glory to Ukraine.